As a director, you have to decode the actors you work with. They each have a way that they like to work or is most beneficial within a character, and it's my job to figure out what that is and to give them everything they need to give a great performance. These people are the ones that this movie is built on. I just kind of had faith in the idea that I would find two boys, Ellis and Neckbone, his running buddy. Somewhere in the woods of some town, there are two boys that are going to play these parts. And luckily, that was true. I found Ty Sheridan and I found Jacob Lofton.
When I got to meet the boys, I realized that they were absolutely perfect for the parts.
I was in Austin, Texas, and I was there for a premiere of The Tree of Life, and Sarah calls me and she says, I want you to meet somebody. And so I met Jeff, and we talked for a while.
It was exciting because you could see Jeff's mind whirring, and he got excited, and he just said, oh my God, he's Ellis. He's a thinker, he's an observer, he's smart, he's a natural from this part of the world.
Ty had been in Tree of Life, so Ty had gone through this Terrence Malick experience, but he didn't have maybe the hang-ups that a lot of child actors that you encounter have.
My mom found the casting call on the computer and brought it home, asked me to read it. So I did, and I thought, well, this sounds like me.
Jacob, I saw this little video of him that our casting agent sent, and I was like immediately like, this looks like him. What's he sound like? Then you hit play, and he's got this amazing natural Arkansas accent, and his teeth kind of come out when he talks, and he's got this attitude that you immediately pick up on. You're like, okay, well, now he sounds like him. And talking about his hobbies, talks about fishing and hunting, and you're like, okay, well, he acts like him. Now, can he perform this character?
He's just totally comfortable. He's comfortable in front of a camera, he's comfortable in front of adults. He's sort of unthrown by all of this. So he can be his natural self and play Neckbone beautifully.
Me and Jacob are alike in a lot of ways, and we do the same things. I hunt, he hunts. We connect really well.
I mean, you can't manufacture these kind of kids in Hollywood. You know, they're true southern rural boys, you know, that hunt and fish and drive boats, and they do all the stuff that is written in the character.
Obviously, when you're making a movie called Mud with a character like Mud, it's all about mud. When I originally started writing this, I wrote this part for Matthew McConaughey.
And scripts really aren't like that. Scripts that get made by good directors and good actors aren't even always like that. Sometimes as an actor, you got to do more work and to create an identity that may not be there. And this one was clear.
Matthew's just, he's a good guy, and you know, right when I met him, I knew there's some kind of connection between us, and we turned out to be really good friends.
Action!
He really gets you excited on what you're doing and really gets you pumped up for the scene. And you know, he himself is always pumped up for a scene. It's really funny to watch him get into character.
Cut. Reece, I remember in our first meeting, I said, all right, you're gonna smoke a cigarette, I'm gonna put tattoos on you. And she just looked at me like I was stupid. She was like, of course.
You kind of don't know if Juniper's a bad girl, a person with a lot of regret or remorse, or cold and heartless, or really caring and feeling and loving. And she makes a lot of interesting choices in the film that make you question her character.
Come on, baby.
Well, of course, Mike's amazing. He's the greatest actor in the world. And I'd written this character for him as well.
Galen was in the punk rock scene in Little Rock, and he kind of floated out to this neck of the woods. One of the reasons he probably came out was to take care of his nephew. And now he's doing this very unusual occupation. It's very beautiful, actually.
Hey, Ellis.
He's a guy who just is kind of rooted in a place and a belief system. It's very difficult for him to adapt and change that belief system. And that's his flaw, and also in some ways his strength. And I think with his son, it's one place where he feels like he can, if he can be a good father, you know, and guide his son in the right way, and the way that he was taught, that'll, you know, it'll keep some of his self-esteem.
The movie catches them right at this moment of being on the edge of something, jumping off or staying put, and Senior would like to stay put, and Mary Lee, my character, has for a long time struggled with wanting more than living her life on the Mississippi River on a houseboat. And I think she's just desperate to see if she's got a shot at anything else in life. So she's doing everything she can to do this, but at the same time, she's trying to balance the needs of her child, who is very close to his father and who knows no other life than the life on this boat.
Ray McKinnon. I love Ray, and he is like a father to me, and he likes to talk the scene over before he does it.
What I love about what Ty has done, you know, he understands that nonverbal communication. We're a nod and a yes sir and a get in the truck, and we understand that language.
Why are you hunting me? It was just impeccable writing, you know, the scenes and the language and everything. And I love the character, too.
Getting a call from his agent after we'd sent him the script, and she kind of said, this never happens. Sam's pretty particular about the work he does, and he called up and said, I would be honored to play Tom Blankenship and tell the writer, don't change a word.
I'd actually written that with Sam Shepard in mind. So that's another experience where you're just like, you know, I'm a kid in college dreaming about these people I want to work with, and then you wake up 10 years later and it's happening. It's a really heady experience, to say the least. Parts like Matthew's and parts like Mike Shannon's and even Sam Shepard's, that's just closing your eyes, writing a part for someone very specific, and then just hoping and praying that they'll return your call. And in this case, they all returned my call. I think the script kind of just did its work, you know? They knew who they were, and they knew what they were doing, and it's made my job relatively easy.